Hey guys, welcome to Learn and QA channel. In this video, we will try to understand the basic questions on percentages with the smart ideas. So let's start the session. The very beginning question. And guys, the agenda of this video is to make you to understand all the basic terminology of percentage concept, right? What percent of 3.6 kg is 72 grams? So generally, you might have seen so many formulas that A as percent of B means A by B into 100 and all. So those are helpful, but even without knowing that, by basic understanding the statement, you can still work out percentages questions. Let's see. So what percent means we don't know. Let us say this is some X percent of 3.6 kg is 72 grams. So the right side unit is in 72 grams. This 3.6 is in terms of kilograms. We need to convert it to grams. So X percent of, what percent of means some X percent of 3.6 kg to convert kilograms to grams into 1000. This is 72 grams, right? Friends, these two zeros gets cancelled. And this decimal place can be adjusted with a 0. Then X into 36 equal to 72. 36 goes 2 times in 72. So we can simply say 2% of 3.6 kg is 72 grams. And that is option D. So slowly we will try to understand without even writing these expressions. But at the beginning stage, it is better to know all these basic expressions. Second question. 20% of 5,000 is what percent of 40,000? Friends, what he says, 20% of 5,000 is what percent of? We don't know. Some X percent of the number is 40,000, right? When you do the simplifications, you can cancel like terms on both sides of the inequality. So two zeros gets cancelled. In the numerator, there are 4 zeros, guys, and here also there are 4 zeros, right? And you see one more 2 is there. 2 goes 2 times in 4. If 2 come to denominator, X equal to 5 by 2. Or you can say 5 by D is 2.5%, right? So 2.5% of 40,000 is same as 20% of 5,000, right? Next question. Difference between a number and its 250 is 510. What is 10% of that number? Friends, first of all, you might be convenient with X model. Let me tell you that model. Difference between X and 2/5 of that X. Difference between a number and its 2/5. This difference is given as 510. Then you may find out X value. Then if you take 10% of X, you may get the answer. So this is very regular process. But as I told you, when you go on, we'll try to make you some simple techniques. So guys, in always percentages terms, let us try to take the unknown number as 100%. Now the difference between 100% and its 2/5. So I hope that you have gone through the first 2 videos of percentages from Learn and QA channel. So 2/5 is equivalent to 40%. 2/5 of 100 is 40 only, right? So this difference is 60% now, guys. So this you should be able to do in your mind, and that 60% difference is given as 510. If 60% is 510, we need to find out 10% of that number. Then what is 10%? If you simply cross multiply, so this is 10 into 510 by 60. 0 gets cancelled. Now you have the term 510 by 6, right? So 6 8s are 48, 3 remainder, 6 5s are 30. So the number is 85. So 10% of the number is 85. So take the number as 100%, 250 is 40%, difference is 60%, 510, then 10% what? Simple expression, right? Let's go to the next question. Now, 40% of 4/5 of 3/4 of a number is 48. Then what is 1% of the same number? So 40% is equivalent to 2/5 of 4/5 of means into, friends. Now 3/4 of a number, we don't know, some X number is 48. Then what is 1% of the number? 1% means 1 per 100 of that number X. So we need to find out X by 100 value, guys. If we take the unknown number as X, 1% of 100 means x by 100 value are supposed to find out. And unfortunately, if you see the denominator expression, so 5 5s are 25, 25 4s are 100, right? So x by 100. Now, what about the remaining terms on the numerator? 2 4s are 8, 8 3s are 24. If 24 come to the right side denominator, 48 by 24. So this is 2. So our required answer is 2. And that is option B. So try to understand what is given information and what you are supposed to find out, and try to get an exact data what you are supposed to find out, right? So let's move to the next question. Okay. If 75 is added to 75% of a number, the answer is the number. Find 40% of that number. Friends, take the unknown number as 100%. Now, what is the question? If 75 is added to 75% of the number, so we have considered the number as 100%, right? What is 75% of 100? 75% itself. So if 75 is added to 75% of the number, the answer is the number itself. So the number is what, guys? The number is 100%. Generally, if you see by X model, if you take X as the number, if 75 is added to 75% of the number, the answer is, the resultant expression is the number itself. Both expressions are the same, but we are trying to avoid X. We are trying to figure out in terms of percentage value. So if 75 is added to 75%, the number is 100%. Friends, if 75 come to this side, 100 minus 75% is 25%. So if 25% value is 75, then our resultant is find 40% of that number. So what is 40%? Friends, a careful observation will give you instantly. This is 3 times, right? So this should be 3 times. So what is 40 times 3? 120 is the number. Or if you'd like to do the cross multiplication, you need to do this process, right? That is 40 into 75 by 25. Even this expression will give the same answer, right? Next question. Okay. Now we have one ratio based question. If 120% of A is equal to 80% of B. So 100 cancel. 40 times 3, 40 times 2. So A to B ratio is 2 to 3. A to B ratio is what, friends? A to B ratio is 2 is to 3. Now our resultant expression is what? What is the value of B plus A by B minus A? Now in this advantage of this ratio based questions is that if A is 2, B is 3. So simply let us consider A equal to 2, B equal to 3, whenever you are going to find out ratios questions. Generally, when you split a ratio 2 is to 3, you will take it as 2 times some constant multiple. 2x and 3x will take. But as it is a ratio, nothing to worry about that x. Consider the numbers itself. A as 2, B is 3. Now put in the resultant expression. So B3, A2. So 3 plus 2, 5. By B3, A2. 3 minus 2, right? 3 minus 2, 1. So the expression is the 5 only. 5 by 1 is 5 only, right? So that is the advantage with the fractions, guys. Let's go to one more such question. If 30% of B minus A is 18% of B plus A, then the ratio of A to B is. What is the question, friends? 30% of B minus A is equal to 18% of B plus A. Yes or no? 100 cancel. So 6 5s are 30, 6 3s are 18. When you open the bracket, this is a 5B minus 5A equal to, this is 3B plus 3A. Now isolate variables to single side. So if minus 5A come to this side, 3A plus 5A is 8A. If 3B come to this side, 5B minus 3B is 2B. Now friends, what is the ratio of A to B? 2 by 8. 2 by 8 means 1 by 4. 1 is to 4 is a required ratio, and that is option B, right? It's a very simple question. We're just trying to find out all variables to one side, required variables to one side, and constant terms to other side. We have one more such question, one more interesting question. A salary is 40% of B salary, and B salary is 25% of C salary. What percent of C salary is A salary? So this is one typical question that we need to avoid completely variables now. So there are three variables, three persons, A, B, C. Now A salary is what? A salary is 40% of B salary. If you know B value, if you take 40% of that, you'll get A. But B salary is 25% of C salary. If you know C salary, if you take 25% of C, you'll get B. Now our worry is, our intention is to consider which of the three variables A, B, C to be considered as 100. Which value we should take it as 100. So guys, whatever the value, with whatever the value they compare, that data should be 100. So first, if you want to know A, you should know B. If you want to know B, you should know C. So let us consider C as 100. Now B is what? B is 25% of 100. So 25% of 100 is 25 only. What about A? 40% of 25. 40% of 25. 10% of 25, 2.5. 40%, 4 times 2.5, 10. Or if you have any doubt, you should write this like this. 40% of 25. So 25 goes 4 times, 40 by 4, 10. Now, what is the question? What percent of C salary is A salary? If you consider some X percent of C salary, X percent of C salary, that is A salary. What is X? So simply 10% of 100 is 10 only, right? So if you have some small idea about percentages, you can end up in hardly 30 seconds or 40 seconds this question. Let's move on to the next variety. 90% of A is 30% of B, and B is X percent of A. Then the value of X is what? So what is the data? 90% of A is 30% of B. And another expression is there, B is X percent of A. Now our job is to find out the value for X. So 100, 100 cancel. So 30 goes 3 times, friends. What is A to B ratio? A to B, if B come to denominator, 1 is the numerator, 3 come to denominator. So A to B is 1 to 3. Now friends, if A is 1, B has to be 3. If B is 3, X percent of A is 1. Why I'm taking this advantage? If I take some constant multiple K and 3K, 3K, K. KK gets cancelled on both sides of the expression, right? So that's the reason we are simply taking the ratio as numbers itself. Now what is X, guys? X is 3 into 100, 300. So simply we got B is correct, right? Next question. A exceeds B by 60% and B is less than C by 20%. Then the ratio of A to C is what? Again, friends, you have three variables of A, B, C. Now A exceeds, in the one of the previous questions have taken A is 40% of B. Now here A exceeds A extra B by 60%. And B is less than by 20% than C. So if you want to know B value, if you decrease C by 20%, you'll get the value of B. Now friends, which value you should consider as 100? If you want to know A, you should know B first of all. If you want to know B, you should know C first of all. So let us consider C as 100%. Understand, guys, why I'm taking this? If you know C, I can decrease C by 20%. I can less C by 20% to get B value. So B is 20% less than 100. So B is 80. Now friends, A is 60% more than B. What is 10% of 80? 10% is 8. 60% is 6 times of 10%. 6 times of 8, 48. Now A value is 48 more than B. So B is 60. So A is 48 plus 8, which is 128, right? Now A is 128 and C is 100, right? So 432 is 425 is so the required ratio is 32 is to 25, and that is option A. So more or less, this seems to be very simple, but these kind of questions are very much helpful to you to solve the questions on data interpretation and case studies. So basics are very strong. If your basics are very strong, you can do much better in our regular course. That's why we are especially dedicating 3 to 4 lectures to give a strong foundation of it. Okay, now let's see this question. X has twice as much as that of Y, and Y has 50% more than Z. If the average money of all of them is 110 rupees, then the money which X has is what? So here there is some comparison of the data among X, Y, Z. What is the data? If you want to know X, X is 2 times of Y. And if you want to Y, Y is 50% more than Z. Do you know the value of Z? We don't know. In case, if I consider Z as 100% money. Now to get Y value, you should increase it by 50% so that Y value is 150%. But friends, what is the money with X? X is 2 times of Y, right? What is 2 times of 150? That is 300%. And there is one data given in terms of average. The average of X, Y, Z is 110. What do you mean by average, friends? So average means sum of all values by number of values. So here sum of all money is by number of persons. So the average is given as 110 rupees. That is sum of money is by, and these are the monies for how many persons? 3 persons, X, Y, Z. So by, so what is sum, friends? So the sum of monies with them is 110, 3 is 330. This is 330 in terms of rupees with them. What is percentage equivalent to sum? So 300, 450%, 550%. So if 550 percentage is the sum of the monies with them, which is given as 330 rupees, which is 330 rupees, then our aim is to find out what is X value. So friends, how much percent of the money X has? X has 300 percentage of the money, right? So if 550 percentage is 330, then 300 percentage money is what? So to get the value, cross multiply. So that is 300 into 330 by 550. 0, 0 gets cancelled. 11 3s are 33. 11 5s are 55. 5 60s are 300. 63s are 180 rupees is the money with X. And that is option D. Simply, you can get this by basic understanding with 100% model. Right? Next question. 70% of the students in the school are boys, and the number of girls be 504 rupees. Sorry, I'm extremely sorry. 504 girls are there. The number of boys is what? Friends, let us consider that total students are 100% in the school. Out of 100%, if 70% of them are boys, what about girls? The remaining 30% are girls, right? Friends, in terms of percentage, the number of girls are 30%, and in terms of numerical, the girls are 504. What do you mean by this? This 30% is equal to that 504, right? So if 30% is 504 girls, what is our job? Our job is to find out the number of boys in this. So the number of boys are 70%, right? Then 70% is what? If you do the simple cross multiplication, 70 into 504 by 30. So the 0, 0 gets cancelled. Somebody might worry about calculations. Let's see. So 3 1s are 3, 2 remainder, friends. Now 20 is the number. 3 6s are 18, 2 remainder. 3 8s are 24. So our number is 168 into 7. So 7 8s are 56. So unit digit of the expression should be 6. Unit digit is 6. So 1176 is answer. So no need to worry about all the calculations. Sometimes by just looking at one or the two decimals in the one or the two numbers, one or the two digits in the number, you can still answer the question. So the number of boys in the school are 1176. Now next question. So this is a very good question, friends. The sum of numbers of boys and girls in a school is 150. So boys and girls together, the information is given as 150 students are there. And the number of boys is X. and the number of girls becomes X% of the total number of students. So friends, we know that the number of boys given is X and the number of girls is what? The number of girls is X% of the total students in the school. So friends, what is the total students? 150 are the total students. So, but what is the girls? The girls are X% of the total students. So, boys are X and girls are X% of the total. So, which is given as how much, friends? Which is 150. Now, can you see 53 is a 150, 52 is a 100. So, X plus 3X by 2. If anybody have a doubt, I can write in detail. So, X plus 3 by 2 into X is 150. So, if you take LCM, 2X plus 3X is 5X. So, 5X by 2 is 150. So 5 3s are 15. So another 0. X goes 5 goes 30 times in 150, right? So 30 times 2 is 60. So the number of boys in the class is 60. And friends, if you check with this, for the sake of better understanding, if you check with this, the number of boys are 60 and the girls are 60% of 150. 10% of 150 is 15. 60%, 6 times of 50, 90. And boys, girls together 150 perfectly matches. So like that, you can cross check your answers as well, right? Now, we have one more such question. 50% of X minus Y, one more ratio based question. So 50% of X minus Y is same as 30% of X plus 5. So 100, 100 cancel, 0, 0 gets cancelled. If you open this bracket, 5X minus 5Y equal to 3X plus 3Y, friends. Now, if 3X come to this side, 5X minus 3X is 2X. If 5Y come to this side, 3Y plus 5Y is 8Y. So, what is X to Y ratio? X to Y ratio is 4:1. But what is the question? What percent of X is Y? Can you see carefully? 1/4 of X is Y, right? What is 1/4? 25%. So, answer is D. Or if you want to work out in detail, let's see. Oh, what percent of X? We don't know. Some K% of X is Y, right? So K% of, friends, here K, if you want the K value, let us take X is 4, Y is 1. So X is 4, Y is 1. So 4 goes 25 times. So 1 into 25 is 25. So K is 25. But we suggest you to remember some of the fractional equivalents to percentages as we did in the previous session, previous video, percentages lesson 2. So which can save you a lot of time, right? Let's see one last question of this video. A batsman scored 110 runs, which included 3 boundaries and 8 sixes. What percent of his total score did he make by running between the wickets? He totally scored 110 runs, guys. Out of 110 runs, he made 3 boundaries. One boundary value is 3. So 3 boundaries, 3 fours, 12 runs he made by fours. And he scored 8 sixes as well. So each 6 is count for 6 runs. Then 8 6 count for 48 runs. Friends, totally out of 110 runs, he scored 60 runs in the form of boundaries and sixes. So if 1/6 from 110, if these sixes and boundaries are subtracted, the number of runs he scored by running between the wickets are 50. So out of 110, 12 through boundaries, 48 through sixes. So 60 score he got in the form of boundaries and sixes. So 110 minus 60, remaining 50 runs he got through by running between the wickets. Now, what is the question, friends? What percent of his total score? The total score are 110. Out of 110, did he make by running between the wickets? How many runs he made by running between the wickets? 50 he scored. So 50 is what percent of 110? 50 runs he scored by running between the wickets out of 110. So into 100. So 0 0 gets cancelled. Friends, this is 500 by 11. So 11 fours of 44, 6 remainder. 11 fives of 55, 5 remainder. 45, 5 11% runs he scored by running between wickets, and that is option B. So in this way, if you work out your basics, so friends, I am telling you openly, many videos, many trainers will say that these are the shortcuts that you can score in less than 1 second, less than 2 seconds, less than 5 seconds. But I don't believe those will really help you in exam. These days, as you could see, the difficulty of the exams has gone to the next level. So without having a strong foundation and a strong preparation, you cannot crack any competitive exam these days. So hope this video will help you to understand and to improve your basics. In the next video, we'll try to come up with one more lesson on percentages. So thank you so much for watching this video, and you can subscribe to our channel, Learn, QA and LR, for genuine preparation for your competitive exams. So thank you so much. Keep learning, keep inspiring friends.